Hello, everybody. It's time for Tuesday Tales and Tales, a weekly feature of our summer library program at the Dickinson Memorial Library in Northfield. I'm Matt, and it's great to see you here today. This week's local wild animal for Tuesday Tales and Tales is a little bit underappreciated, I think. It's a pretty common animal. You might find it in your backyard. It likes to chatter at humans and other creatures. It likes to chase things. And it's just this amazing acrobat. It's kind of like our own local monkey. Have you guessed what it is? It's the squirrel. All right, the first thing I'm going to do to find out about a squirrel is to look in my pocket guide to critters of Massachusetts. And we have multiple kinds of squirrels in Massachusetts. We have the gray squirrel and the red squirrel. Gray squirrels are probably more common. They're bigger. They have a big fluffy tail. The red squirrel is about half the size of a gray squirrel. And it's red, as the name implies. This book just has the gray squirrel in here. Let's see what they say about it. Here's our entry. Oh, let's see. It says, did you know an eastern gray squirrel can hide 25 nuts in half an hour? It usually finds 4 out of 5 of the nuts it buries. It also buries them in tree holes. It later finds them. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see. Its habitat. It lives in wooded areas, including forests, parks, and backyards, maybe your own. It eats nuts, seeds, fruit, insects, bird eggs, buds and tree bark, man, all sorts of stuff. All right, this is an awesome animal. The first thing that I might look for if I'm trying to find out about squirrels is our nonfiction books, our informational books. Of course, we have some of those. This one is called Furry Scurriers. And this one is squirrels, part of a series of backyard animals. One thing I like about this one is not only does it have facts, but it has some other interesting sections like myths and legends about squirrels. And at the end, it has puzzlers to see if you've learned things about the squirrels. For example, name 2 uses for a squirrel's tail. And when are flying squirrels most active? I forgot about flying squirrels. So we have gray squirrels, red squirrels, flying squirrels, which are actually more like gliding squirrels. But read about them in our books to find out. We have other books, of course, because squirrels are really popular in stories. So not just the informational books, but in picture books and chapter books. Here's one that I recommend called Girl versus Squirrel. This is a good one for anybody who has tried to attract birds to their yard and have had to compete with the squirrels, which really like the food that you put out for birds. Here's a classic one, Ol' Mama Squirrel by David Ezra Stein. In this one, a squirrel mom is very protective of her babies, and see what the people in the town think. And finally, another picture book. This one's called The Golden Acorn. In this one, a squirrel teams up with other animals for a pretty fun and funny adventure. We also have a great graphic novel series with a squirrel as a character, the Bird and Squirrel series. Graphic novel, full of pictures. Oh, look, there's even a bear in this one. These are pretty funny adventures with Bird and Squirrel. It's a whole series if you like graphic novels. And if you're reading chapter books, I have just 2 really great ones to share with you for today. The first is called Toph's Way. In this one, you get to, it's a pretty realistic book, but a made-up story, like we're pretending to know what the squirrel is thinking. A year in the life of a squirrel. Goes from winter through spring, summer, fall, and back to winter. See what kind of adventures Toph, the squirrel, has. And finally, if you have missed this book, you got to check it out. Flora and Ulysses. It starts out with a runaway vacuum, and it gets more fun from there. It's a story of a girl, Flora, and her squirrel, Ulysses, which might have superpowers. You read it and let me know what you think. Those are some of the books, just some of the books that we have at the Dickinson Memorial Library about squirrels. I encourage you to look at squirrels, notice their awesome tails, and notice the other awesome things they do. This underappreciated animal that can be in your own backyard. It's in Northfield, it's throughout Massachusetts, and that is our local wild animal for this week's Tuesday Tales and Tales. Check out throughout the summer, we're doing all sorts of things on Facebook. And for 6 weeks, we will have a Tuesday Tale and Tale. Happy reading, everybody.